I see the go live? How do I?
It'll take it a second. Like if you just like kind of refresh the page. Does this claims I'm live?
If we are live, we are attempting something that we are not sure is going to work. But hi, guys. See, I'm much more prone to talk when it's my channel. Because I don't feel like I'm overstepping my bounds. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, no, I don't think it says we're live, but something's definitely not.
Huh. Look at that. I see a live stream.
Oh.
We shall see.
Yeah, because I can't. The control panel here still says we're offline on my side, but you're definitely seeing.
Well, it says
things.
live stream offline.
It's not home.
I mean, but I can see my stitching.
And but is there? Yeah, I can see that picture now as well, but the stream can change every time you end. All right. Do. Moving it in. Whoa.
It says offline.
What did it say?
If this is filming us, we are playing around and trying to figure out how to live stream. Because we do not do this regularly enough to remember. I believe we are live. At least I see movement when I am. Hey guys. We're attempting something a little bit different tonight. We typically... Oh, there you go.
Well, it said smile for the thumbnail, and then there was no camera for it to do, but...
Oh.
Obviously things are happening.
We typically stream to Brandon's Twitch channel on Wednesdays. Typically we haven't done it in several weeks because my life has been insane. But we decided we would just see if this worked on YouTube or not. So we are hopping on here. So that's what's happening. It's me and my husband, my editor, Brandon Lee. He is stitching Zelda. I'm working on all of the Halloween. Hi Pam, how are you doing? Pam, were you the person that I sent that thing to like a year after I said I was going to send it to? I think so. If so, hello. And if not, still hello.
I mean, appears to be working, but
Yes.
nothing on my screen
How
is
is
working,
the last... What?
I have nothing working.
Brandon
As long
has
as
nothing, but it's working for me. You were going to Florida, I think. How is everything going okay? I am jumping all around my pattern. Good, I'm glad you're enjoying all the things. I am very grumpy about the moon in this piece because it is massive and I'm tired of stitching it. So... So I switched to lettering because that also makes me grumpy, and figured if I'm good, I'm glad. Hi, Hilma. Oh my goodness, that's quite a temperature change for you. Hi, Tracy. Are you going back to StitchCon this year? The moon is, like, ridiculous. I'm on like a page change in the pattern, so I'm like trying not to jump around because I know I'm going to make all the mistakes if I do. But we are going back to, Brandon is actually going to be coming with as well. So we're excited.
It's okay. It's not my channel, so I expect to be left out. We're just
He's
glad,
just joking.
We're glad for more people to talk to, at the end.
However, I'm going to probably stop with this one because now I'm counting all the time. And if we're going to be talking,
Actually have talking to do. Yeah.
So
We can always go back to the moon.
Oh, Hilma, I have to say the cross-stitch community on YouTube and Instagram has been what has gotten me through the past year. So I am always grateful for this community. So we moved away from everybody we knew. Well, I mean, we moved to family, so not everybody we knew, but like our life changed when we...
I guess it's a good thing we changed platforms so now that your mom can't hear you talk that way.
Was she on before?
I mean, it had her name in the chat.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, she could have figured it out. I think she gets a notification.
She might, but...
Isn't it, Tracy? Stitchers are good people. And I love seeing what everybody else is stitching. Although I have decided I have to stop starting things. I'm getting a little overwhelmed with everything I've got going on right now. So I need to just focus on some finishes. Well, you didn't tell us you were on. How was I supposed to know? And you switched over to YouTube, so I'm impressed.
And you donated to the Extra Life charity today, which means lots of good things.
Brandon's also impressed. Tracy, not anywhere close. I have to do a webinar at work, and I was like, can I take stitching with me? Would that be appropriate? I don't know. Because we did what? Switch?
I guess. I don't know.
She is doing much better. I think she was allergic to the ointment that they were having her use, so she was pretty swollen. But she's on some steroids to bring that down now, so she is doing better. My mom is Cindy Barenbaum in chat, too. So she's here.
She's here.
Oh, yes, I'm not going to continue on the lettering. We're going to go back to the moon of noon. I will, Pam. When we're done, I'm going up to drink some wine with her. So I had a small glass before we started, but then came downstairs.
I was going to say when we're done, I'm going to bed, but that's not true.
Are you stitching up there, Mom? She's been doing a bunch of stitching. She got so many finishes during the 24-hour marathon. I could not believe.
She says there's no wine left.
I thought she meant there isn't any stitching left. I was like, you can have some of mine.
I was like, in this house, that's never a response.
She is stitching. Well, I would say that the response of there not being any wine left is probably something that doesn't happen in this house either. Not because we don't drink it, but because
drink it
we
all.
make sure that it's fully stocked at all times. Okay, I'm back to the moon. I have this crazy goal that I decided I wanted my acrostic to be all finishes this month. And so I'm now attempting 13 cross-stitch Halloween finishes for my acrostic, but I have 13 that maybe I could feasibly finish. Although this is one of them, so I'm not really sure how feasible it is. And
I'll complete these smalls during 24 hours.
Because this seems to be the running theme of my life, is that I still don't know how long it takes me to stitch anything. But yeah, I don't know. Because I'm very anti-counting. I'm rebelling, I think. When I was in high school, my rebellion was wearing a hat to school, or I was not a very rebellious child. So I pick my things and then I stick to them. So Brandon is also toying with starting a floss tube channel of his own, which I think would be very exciting.
Yeah, he is correct.
So, because we like to do like the crossovers, but we realize that we have very different styles of stitching too, and so wanted to give him a venue that he can share his. I feel like it's very hard to see the moon that I'm stitching on here, but
Can you believe they put a man on the moon?
oh my god, he did the same thing on the
A
last
man
one.
on the moon.
You had a question asked to you, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh god, how long? When did we?
Were we
After?
in the house?
Yes.
So probably within the past 6 years.
6 years, I think. Because we went over we went over to her parents' house because her and her mom were stitching. And I looked at them. I was like, all right, well, give me something. And they both looked at me like I was growing a third head and laughed. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Give me something. And then they were all surprised by how well I did it.
His stitching is just, I mean, the back, he is the neatest stitcher. Puts me to shame. I jump around a lot more than he does. And he's stitched, like, he's done some surprise pieces for me. Like, he stitched me some robots for Valentine's Day one year on linen, and just did it himself, like, and looked up how to do French knots and how to do that kind of stuff. So he's really good. I mean, your mom stitched when you were growing up. So.
She did, like, the little Christmas ornaments and stuff. Like, nothing like
this.
Yeah, nothing, like, not the big pieces and stuff, but... And crocheted the doilies that...
Yeah. I've also, like, I'm very, that's awesome, Pam. I say the more men's stitchers we can get, the better. We did a meetup at our local cross stitch store, not last weekend, but the weekend before. And it was, Brandon was there, our friend Laura, her husband Joe was there stitching, Don was there stitching, and then another wife's husband was there. So there was the largest male presence I've seen, which was so neat.
Alright, Mario Kart, I get it.
Tracy, that is very similar to my belief. Although I am just craving finishes now, so I'm setting like all these lofty goals that will not happen, but I was talking to my mom about it the other day because I feel like part of it is I have this huge collection of patterns that I know I'm never going to be able to stitch all of them in my whole life, so I want to be able to put some stitches in on some of them, which I think is why I start so many things. And this year too, I think going back to the community that we have in this, or that this is, as soon as I found other people stitching things, I was like, I want to join in because it was that community piece. And Hilma, I am on 40 count linen.
I'm on Ada.
And he's probably...
That's probably what is this?
14.
This
You're
is
using
14.
2 strands, right?
I'm using 2.
Yeah.
This seems big, so this is, I am assuming,
14 count.
it's going to be half my YouTube videos as I'm stitching on fabric.
We had a talk the other day about how he had to remember what fabrics he was starting on.
I say I don't count fabric. I don't know. It's orange-ish.
Same. Oh, it's just I can never die. I just have to live forever, pretty much. And, I think they'll be stitching in heaven. Maybe not ghosts and goblins stitching.
I was going to say, I don't know.
I don't know.
Jesus may not let me in if I stitch my fields pattern that I want to stitch.
I was an Ada stitcher for a really long time, and it was probably like about the time he started stitching that I switched to linen. Mm-hmm. I would say it was probably because I think we were in our house, and I dove in pretty big when I started.
I can stitch on linen, but it's not my favorite just because I can't see it without like a magnifier. And that's not always the most convenient thing to lug around to stitch with or whatnot.
And for me, like when I stitch on linen, I don't necessarily feel like I always need to see it. I can go more by feel. I can usually tell if I'm in the wrong hole. So
couldn't let that one pass.
So what projects do you have going now? I started some 52 count last weekend. I can do it down here without a magnifier because we have overhead lighting in our apartment, but I think without the overhead lights I have to have a magnifier of some sort. Tracy, I think I follow you on Instagram, so I think I've been seeing what you've been working on, but I can't recall it off the top of my head. But I think we have very similar. I think we do. Tastes. I was just talking to my mom. We did the 24-hour marathon last weekend, but because I started a different thing every hour, I don't think I feel like I know I don't feel like I got much progress done. So I told her I just want a weekend where I can stitch. I was like, wait, wasn't that last weekend? Well, it might be this weekend too. Is there still music? No. Okay.
Took it off to stay away from copyright.
Oh, I love that, Pam. I love it when it can be special like that, too.
Take away the Twitch chat box. It's not necessary anymore. Is there a YouTube option?
So, yeah. Oh, and I love Prairie Schooler, too. I love the little pumpkin head, too. It's one that I keep, I don't have the pattern yet, but every time I look at it, I'm like, I should probably get that. So I'm hoping to get a regular video up to recap the 24-hour event and do some filming with my mom to recap what's that? There's something over my stitching.
Sorry. I'm trying to see if I can get YouTube chat onto here.
We are really just playing. We don't really know what we're doing tonight. Oh, Tracy, that's so sweet. I'll send you back. My mom has perfected the small little project bags. They're just the cutest things. They're perfect for the little patterns. I'm all over the place in this mood. It's probably one of the reasons why I wanted to stop counting my stitches too, because it was really hard to keep track of where I was and what I was doing. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
We were saying we're playing with this. We usually go on Brandon's Twitch channel and stream. We've been trying to get a regular thing going on Wednesdays. But we wanted to see how the format would work on YouTube, so we were like, let's try it out and see if we can. It's still not on your screen?
I'm afraid to do anything with this because this screen is what's maintained as being live.
Yeah.
But as long as you get, like, as long as...
Yeah,
I mean, I've got it up on my phone so I can see things are going fine with it.
Chat and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just wanted to see how this all worked. I hope so. I know it's hard because, like, I mean, there's the Stitch With Me videos, but I feel like with these, like, you have to type to talk to us, and so I didn't want to, like, hinder anybody from stitching. I keep telling him, I was streaming with him, and I'm like, this is so much more intimidating than filming the videos. Okay, good, Amy. Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
What are you working on, Amy? Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can do both. I can't multitask. Oh, no.
Oh, like what?
I also have to watch my mouth more.
Yeah, you do now. This
I do. I forgot it's not.
This isn't the wild.
It's not your channel.
It's not the wild, unkempt safari that Twitch is.
Oh, I'm sure that's really pretty, Amy. I love everything you stitch. Nicole, what are you working on? Or going to be working on? Let's see if we can play some thread chicken here. I need to switch to using petite needles. Also, I haven't decided if all of October stitching is only going to be Halloween stitching for me, or if I'm going to allow myself other stitching. Very cool. I have the Sal that's going on. Good old 3371. Doing Bump in the Night by Prairie Schooler, and it's all 3371.
I don't know what that means, though.
It's a DMC color.
Well, I knew it was a DMC color, but that doesn't mean nothing to me.
It's very brown.
It's not 310 or 666. That's okay.
Brandon and I have very different color schemes when we stitch as well. So, like, he puts all of his used project cards in with my, like, extra DMC, and I'm always like, yep, this was a Brandon project. Because it has 666. That is a red I do not like. Although it was the red on my clock piece, I think.
So it depends on what it's with. Like,
Tracy, I could only stitch Halloween and be completely content. Which I don't know really where that came from, because I wasn't ever really that big into Halloween.
I like the red we got better for my ink circles. One better than 666.
What was it? I think it was Current by General Arts.
No, for my playing cards one.
Oh. I don't know what that one was.
I don't remember. It's number off the top of
Was
my
it a
head.
random, like, flossable?
It was just whatever I saw at
You
Joann's.
just did, yeah.
Just pulled a red. That wasn't Christmas red.
See, I don't even feel like 666 is Christmas red, though. I don't know. And now I'm all into, like, planning my year out for next year. And so I've just decided, like, trying to figure out how many more new starts I want to do, or if I want to just balance on trying to do finishes. But I really liked Stitch Madness these past 2 years, so I'm not sure I want to totally give up on new starts. But I'm thinking maybe if I have a slot open thing. I don't know. Who would have thought that all of this could be going on about, like, stitching? Like, it's not even the actual stitching that I, like, obsess about. It's the, how am I going to do this? Or what am I going to do here? Amy, did I see that you're going to be at StitchCon this year, too? Oh, goodness. That was loud.
Yeah.
Yay. Excited to meet you, Amy. I know I was ready to give up on my Stitch 9, but last month I did pretty good, so I think I only have one more Stitch 9 challenge to finish, which was a fluke. It was a great time last year. It was my first, and only retreat so far, but I loved it. You can do it, Tracy. See, and then we just get in these lulls where we just don't say anything.
Yep.
This project is just so deceiving. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What?
I don't understand what's going on over here, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it obviously works.
I mean, yeah, it's working, totally working. It's just it's very interesting. So I ain't touching it till we done.
Does anybody do Year of the Whips? Year of the Whips? Year of Whips? I don't even know. I keep asking people about it because I'm like, I need to do that next year. Because I want to finish. And Stitch 9 was really good for me because it focused me in on finishing those certain pieces instead of jumping around so much.
Well, there's your Stitch Madness. Only do.
So do you have a set rotation that you do, Tracy, or do you just like kind of pick and choose as you're going? I've changed my rotation plans like pretty much every month and haven't really found something that I like consistently yet. It had been the challenge groups, but I just was feeling a little burnt. Bye, Hilma. Yeah, we're looking into what we're going to be doing in the future with it. So, welcome to the Crazy Cross Stitch community. I think that's really smart too, because I think if you get two set in a rotation, like for me at least, then I get tired of it, or it feels like a chore. You had a question.
I know. I was waiting for you to finish.
To stop talking. Shut up.
Waiting for you to, It's Ada. Well, and honestly, that's about the best we can say because it didn't have. It was just
this was like really old.
Just in her stash.
On my mom's stash. So my mom used to own a cross stitch store, and has stash from probably back then too.
Yeah. So it was just a. It was a neat color, and so that's why I grabbed. I mean, I only stitched mostly on Ada anyway, but I liked the color. But it's Ada, and that's about the best I can say on it.
He has started to do like some Picture This Plus Adas and some of the hand-dyed stuff too. So he kind of goes back and forth with what he works on.
Yeah. Aside from just like mostly avoiding linen, as long as it's a count, I prefer more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I do think like the more you stitch on linen, the more familiar and comfortable you can be with it.
Well, yeah.
But I think there's no correct
for now.
way.
There's no.
You know,
yeah,
like it doesn't. Really, Pam? I didn't know that.
Would we say this was probably 14?
Yeah, 14. Yeah.
Pretty sure this is 14.
That's awesome. I wish I had understood. I mean, I was little when my mom had her shop. But, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, how did I not know what that was? You know, like, understand the magnitude of that. He's done some even weave. He's done more linen, and so I think Brandon would like an even weave better than just a straight linen, just because it's more even, for lack of better words.
Currently, my major hitch with linen is I tend to need either really good lighting or a magnifier to work with it. And uniform is probably the better word.
Thanks, Mom. She just found some 20 count Ada. So it's super tiny and it's so cute. She's doing the gobble gobble or the gobble something. The Plum Street stacking of the turkeys. The gobble gob, I think it is. And it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Because it's just, it's the littlest. I mean, it's like 40 count. But Ada. Not sure exactly why I did that.
Did what?
I just, I don't know, did something stupid. So yeah, Brandon built us these like contraptions with PVC pipe to hold our cameras up so that we could stream like this. It worked out pretty well.
Well,
my mom has talked to me about Hardanger, but I've never I don't think I've ever seen it. She probably has some upstairs. But I've never stitched on it.
Let's see. Where to start?
So,
Thanks.
Yeah. Doesn't it? He has the neatest backs.
Oh, see, I'm not even going to assume that it was like.
The neatest. Thought so. And he stitches, like, his tension is just perfect. Like, just, I don't know how he stitches very well. And he's done, like, you've done some full coverage pieces. Like, he's done.
Done one.
So yeah, we typically do this on Wednesdays. Either this is the first time on my channel. We've been on his channel on Twitch. And we like it because we get to stitch together.
Yeah, I mean, it's stitching together, and it's always nice to get community interaction at the same time too. Like,
but it's such a different feeling doing this than it is. So.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with filming, if you don't like what you've been saying, you can always stop and restart.
Like I do multiple times.
But when it's live, it's live. I don't know. Chances are we'll probably maintain on YouTube.
You sure?
Either through her channel or
his new one.
Or if I start one, we'll...
That's his goal this weekend, is to play around and maybe get something up and running.
My one full coverage piece currently was Donatello from Ninja Turtles.
I'm typically not a full coverage. The only thing I've got going right now is Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger. But that's not like paid full coverage because
that stuff is bananas to me.
Yeah. People that can do that with the confetti stitching, and it's just amazing to me because it's just not where my head would be. And I did the Zelda map.
I'll say the Zelda map was full coverage,
but I didn't do it like a hate. I just did it like a regular. Like there was no parking.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I'm gonna do the other one, and that no, I won't.
So yeah, we'll try to give notice before we come back and try this again, so that you guys know that we're gonna be popping on. We were never sure like what a good time was to start or to go till, because we didn't want to interfere with like people's like dinners, but then you've got parents getting kids ready for bed and Brandon going to bed because he's a
Listen, we are
early sleeper, so
2 hours and 21 minutes past my bedtime.
I just stay upstairs with my mom and drink some wine. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
we're still
8:20
Eastern
here. going to be so excited when this moon is done. Oh no, Amy. We buy it in bulk, so we don't have that problem. We just, Kroger discount. We'll be up for Mass Singer. He's not going to bed after this tonight.
No, it's Mass Singer night. I'll be up.
Hi, Heidi. We are Eastern Standard Time, so it is 8:20. Where are you at?
And my love of the Turtles comes back from the 80s as well, when I was a wee lad.
Mm-hmm. Except he makes me watch the movies now, too.
Well, they're still good. They're classics. Except for the third one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, like I said, we will definitely announce. I'll put it on Instagram and stuff like that when we figure out like a schedule. We've been trying for like 6:30 start our time and go until when do we go to?
Like 9ish.
Yeah.
If we make it that far.
Sometimes I'm a little more tired and a little more grumpy, and nobody wants to be around me. So. I get to edit the grumpiness out most of the time, but not here.
Let's be
South
honest.
Australia? Oh my goodness.
She doesn't edit any of the grumpiness out.
Brandon does.
I edit the grumpiness out.
So this is the full piece of it. Let's see if I can get it all on the camera.
Hold on. I can help with that.
Am I gonna be in it? I wanna be in it. Oh. I can be very grumpy.
There you go.
Yeah, so I still have a lot more of it than I thought I did, actually. I really want it finished this month though, so I might be changing it to be this is my focus piece. Because I have all the tree going down. There's like 6 more rows of writing, and then the fill-in in the house. It's a big piece. Very deceiving. And I'm stitching it on 40 count exemplar by Lakeside. You'll probably need to zoom.
I know, once you're stitching again, and I'll fix it to you.
I love the house, and like I struggle. This was one of the first pieces I ever stitched or started with overdyed threads, and so I was like, am I doing individual stitches? I thought I had to at first, and then I don't like it. The house is huge too. There's just a lot of stitches with everything. But then I decided that I like the tweeted effect. So to not do the individual stitches, I'm okay with. I really actually like how the house turned out with. It looks weathered to me, so. Problem is I want to finish 12 other ones this month. It is already the 9th. So I don't think my little plan is going to work, which means that I have to figure out another plan for the acrostic. Or I just need to bow out of the acrostic this month. But I was really excited about it. So. The fill-in on the moon, I think, is the worst just because there's all the jumping around with the letters. And I feel like I am not the neatest when I do that. And I try not to carry threads a lot, but with the black being stitched first, then I'm nervous I'm going to be pulling, like, the ends through, and you're going to see, and, like...
What if you keep your back neat?
No, it's not that. It's when you...
Never have issues, so you're having
It's
Who
difficult. What?
has the neater backs?
You.
And would know on this subject.
Why is this not working?
Well, 'cause you didn't listen.
Nobody's gonna be able to tell with me that it's not right. Everybody that's watching. She's doing better. We think she was allergic to maybe the ointment she had to put on the eyes because she was very itchy and very swollen. So she had her stitches taken out today and is looking much more like herself. So, but she was a trooper last weekend. I mean, she stitched. How many finishes did you have, Mom? I think she had like three finishes during the weekend, at least, plus another one last night. Four. Yeah, she's amazing. And we dealt with a broken light in the middle of it. Broken needle. We had a lot of stuff happening during our little marathon. Speaking of which, if anybody has a light that they love, we are back in the market for maybe something a little different. We got the Ott lights with the 3 arms, and we really like them. I like an Ott light, but we have not had luck with them. They're just... I don't know. I think they were phasing them out anyway. Probably because other people didn't have luck with them. So if you have a light that you really like, I need something with an LED because currently I'm using one that doesn't have an LED and my face gets really, really red while I stitch. And then Brandon's using my old Ott light that we took the Ott light bulb out of because it got too hot, and we have an LED light bulb in it.
Oh, thank you, Tracy.
He's a good stitcher. And I like that he does it with me. Because it means that he understands this hobby a little bit. And when I'm like, I just spent this much money at the cross-stitch store, he's not like, what?
I'm like, all right. Well, here goes my computer case.
Although then it's like, well, I'm going to the cross-stitch store and now I have to buy things for him too.
True.
I swear you just put it down upside down just to show that back off.
There's a Star Wars game coming out soon.
I'm sure you will get it.
I know. There's like a pre-order bundle with a computer, or not a computer, a keyboard.
Oh.
It's a Star Wars themed keyboard. And like a Star Wars, like mouse pads are kind of a thing of the past.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like desk pads now.
Yeah.
So your keyboard and your mouse will stay on it. So it's a Star Wars theme one of those too. Take place
they are,
in my
Tracy. It's good. Good stuff.
My impromptu match together playmat. Mouse pad.
So yeah. When we were doing this on Twitch, we decided we didn't have enough conversation to keep us going, so we were doing riddles. And then we pulled out an old riddle game that we have called Crack the Case.
Hashtag bring back Crack the Case.
Seriously, best game ever.
At Parker Brothers, everyone.
Hasbro.
No.
Yes.
Milton Bradley.
Okay.
I knew it wasn't Hasbro because Hasbro is WotC.
Is what?
WotC.
What's WotC?
Wizards of the Coast. Makers of the smash hit collectible card game known as the Magic the Gathering.
Oh, this mood.
Thanks.
Well, yes, eventually.
Hers, yes.
Shut up. That is not even true. We have a lot of your stuff framed too.
I don't. They don't
He
frame.
does.
She doesn't frame any of my stuff.
Okay, the problem is that we have a lot of like antique frames that we use to frame my stuff, and the stuff he stitches doesn't necessarily go in the antique frames that we have. So it's not that we are not framing his things, because
But
I can think of probably
but she's
8
not
of his
framing.
pieces that are framed.
I don't think there's 8.
Mythbusters is
One.
not framed. Is it framed? It's framed.
I think it's framed. I think we did frame it.
The Bent Creek little
The owl. The owl's or their ghost.
that's Prairie Schooler. Bent Creek was the Halloween
Oh, the mad scientist lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
that's framed. My robot's framed. 2 robots are framed.
Are 2 robots framed?
Yeah, I think so. Your the green one, the one in the green frame, the shield, that's framed.
Oh, my Hylian shield.
I'm
is
at
framed.
7. Okay.
My Metroid is framed too.
Okay, so we just got to 8 and he didn't believe me.
I didn't think I had 8 framed, honestly.
So he
More
has.
Listen, let's be honest. I'm more impressed that I have 8 finishes. Let's
You do,
get
and you
up
have
there.
you have more than that. You have a bunch that you've finished.
She just tends to not frame the things I'm stitched for her.
I tend to not. That is not true. See how mean he is to me, guys. No, I am terrible at changing out decorations, and so I have a lot of my cross stitch framed, but it's not hanging up. And then I have a lot other that's just in a box of shame that will someday be framed. To sit in a box, not hanging on my walls. This weekend, we're taking a break from stitching and
I
getting
was gonna say you're
Halloween
stitching
on the
all
walls.
weekend, so not in my Christian household. I said not
Start
today,
the
Satan.
Halloween stitching, Brandon Lee.
Oh, so they did the 2 truths and a lie thing today for work, and when she sent out the answer copy that had the answers highlighted.
No!
I was like,
That defeats the purpose.
that defeats the purpose, and I was like, I'm bummed. I really wanted to hear
Yeah.
some really
that's
good
funny.
ones.
For everybody?
Yeah, it was the entire answer list for everyone's was all the lie was all highlighted. She named them wrong on her desktop.
Tracy, she really does. I've been very spoiled. I gotta get Jenny Bean up because that frame, oh, I love it.
There's a shield done.
Oh my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a mirror shield. Not that anyone else. Not that anyone knows what that is besides me. I say with pretty good confidence.
I'd try to prove you wrong, but you're probably right.
Zoom in so we can see how you're stitching without having to go to the back.
Sure.
Do you like?
What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you want to see? Do you want to see the whole thing or?
So I always start and since I'm on 40 count, I'm just using one strand. So I just capture my threads on the back. So I pull it.
You're not anywhere on camera.
Yeah.
No, not.
I wasn't on camera. Am I now?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna try the. Oop, wrong way.
This is not the best color to be doing this with.
I was gonna say yeah, the way so.
But so the tail is right on my finger, so I'm gonna just catch it in the back. I'm also not watching it in real time, so it's really hard for me to.
Yeah, you're fine.
And then I can pull it through, and it locks it. And then I just go. Go in the top hole and slide through the bottom. No.
Right there too.
And then pull through. So I'm using the sewing method. So So it's going through 2 holes at once, maybe? I can switch to a different color thread, too, if that would be easier to see. Okay. Since the yellow is... And from what I've heard with people watching me do this, most people don't start their needle, like, perpendicular to their fabric like that, but...
That's right. We had that conversation one time, and we were really confused because.
But I do, and it's just to find my hole, and then I turn it so it's like parallel with the fabric. I don't know. I feel like I'm still very far away. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if because we stitch the same, so.
I swear this light too.
Just where am I? There I am. So we come up through the back. And since we're sewing method, we both go through the top hole of half of our X and just pull through.
And there are times that I will punch and stab. Was that what you wanted to see? Because, again, I can switch threads. Because this yellow is, like, ridiculous. I think my camera is far away from me, so.
It is. I tried to go in as well as I could.
I know.
I'm just saying for audience purposes. But unfortunately, because it's all going to be digital zoom, so the further you zoom in, the kind of not as well as it does, but...
But I will use a punch and stab where I go down and pull through from the back and then come back up. I will use that on something if I'm stitching 1/1 because it locks the stitches into place better. And I will use that like if I'm in a particularly congested area. A lot of times I'll go like, or even like when I go down to the next row like I just did. I tend to not try to do sewing method for that.
So bottom to the top seem to work horizontal.
I don't know. I don't stitch bottom to top, so I don't know. If I have to go up, I do the X's backwards because otherwise I'm going into the hole that I was just in, and that doesn't. It will just pull the thread back out.
Right, yeah, because of the way the X's go, it's harder to go.
Because our
from
X's
bottom
always
to top. Cause
yeah, our X's always end in the top left corner.
So you either kind of have to offset the row when you do that, because I'll occasionally do that. Like where did I do that? I've done that here recently, but it's I'll go all the way over and then come one back and then start the row.
See, the way I cheat it is I'll go up, but instead of starting in the bottom left corner, I'll start in the top right and come down to the bottom left and then finish the X the normal way from the bottom right to the top left so that my threads are all going the same way. My mom does some backward stitching thing and I don't understand what she's saying when she does it. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I don't think my way is the same, and I think when the way she does it, her back is still, all those stitches are right. When I do it my way, my back is not right.
When I do it my way, my back is right.
Because Brandon has the neatest backs of us all. And then I don't do individual stitches, so I do a whole row and then go back. Except on this one because I'm not going all the way across because if I go too far across then my thread gets tangled. And that annoys me.
And I just don't have any large
sections
or rows at this time.
I agree. I figured it would be, Mom. Mine isn't, but you can't tell, so. I actually don't know if my back is right or not. I don't know. I didn't look. Because I typically only do it when I'm like if I'm doing lettering or something like that. Well, you've never told me that you can tell. You can't tell on the right side. You can tell when you look at the back, maybe. I think my stitching's pretty neat, though. Unless you've been lying to me about that.
We have.
Everybody's just like, Jen, yeah, we don't really think you're a very good stitcher.
No. It's good.
It all goes back to that. Maybe I'm on the Truman Show and everybody's just lying to me. Is that what my life really is?
You worked real hard on it. We can tell you worked on this.
Sorry, I'm clearing my throat and I keep turning to the mic to do
she
that.
Keeps turning right toward it and it's like...
I'm used to coughing in my elbow because I work with children and that's what you're supposed to do, but... Hi, Angie. How are you doing? Did I ask, are you going to be at StitchCon this year too? Can we actually get a beer this time? Maybe. Just jokes. I mean, not really. If we can get a beer, that'd be great. Oh god, I'm getting tired. The unfiltered Jen is not necessarily a good thing. Okay, good. I'm excited. I'll pick up the second. Okay, you use the sewing method going right for individual stitches, Tracy? Or is that when you're doing, if you're doing a whole row too? An alphabet picture in one of the frames. What?
Is it your ginormo one? Where you did change the cat? It's right there.
Alphabet blocks, maybe?
Is that what it is?
Like that you can see when I sit and normally film? I have lots of alphabets. They're kind of my thing. The two that are on the wall behind me when I'm normally filming are Alphabet Blocks by Carriage House, samplings, and The Red and the Black by Prairie Moon. It was an announcement for this live.
It's the giant the tier that's behind you when you stitch right behind you. On the left one.
The one with the cats?
Alphabet Blocks.
Okay, yeah, it's Alphabet Blocks.
It's Alphabet Blocks.
Alphabet Blocks by Carriage House. Sorry, I didn't know what was on the announcement. Did you make that?
No, it's what YouTube defaulted it to, I think.
Huh.
When it told me to smile for
Okay.
the thumbnail. It's the thumbnail to this live.
Oh, I can probably
think.
see what it is too.
But yeah, it's the Alphabet Blocks then.
Okay. It was released originally as independent pieces, and then she went back and released it as like a whole set. It was a fun stitch. I changed the cats to look like my cats. I don't normally personalize things like that. I was pretty impressed with my tweeting ability for Pandy.
Well, it's like, I don't know the name of it. I just know you changed the cats to be ours.
And Tracy, if you're talking about individual stitches in the sewing method, I am exactly the same way. In fact, that piece, the Alphabet Blocks, the bottom is where the A is and things like that, the letter on each of them, I did with, I think, Weeks Dye Works thread. And I knew I had to do I wanted to do the individual stitches. And so I would start each row over on the right-hand side and go to the left, because I could do sewing method that way. If I was going left to right, doing one stitch at a time, it's so much harder. And I was concerned that you could tell, like if I changed, I wasn't sure if you could tell the direction shifts and things.
I can.
Of course you can.
Like we said, no, we can tell. You worked real hard on it.
Mm-hmm. So mean to me. Okay, this moon looks feasible now.
Why are you nodding? Stop nodding.
What?
Tell me, I tried this. It's gonna try normal nod.
It might be a time to call it a night.
Yeah, because I want to use an expletive.
can't because it's my channel. However, my mug does say that I have the vocabulary of a well-educated sailor. True statement. Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for chatting with us and checking out what we're stitching and just being part of this community. We are going to be, Brandon and I are going to do some talking and figure out what we are going to be doing going forward. The one thing I know for sure is that we will make announcements prior to what we are doing so that people will know. So you can follow me on Instagram. I am at Quirks and Stitches. Or Brandon is on Instagram as well. He is at Ujavi, Ujaviji. And we will make sure to be announcing things there. That's probably where I am most active. So, yeah. But I think we're gonna probably call it quits for tonight. And devise a plan for going forward.
All right, thanks for coming out, guys. We'll see you.
Yes, thank you, guys.
This is where you say keep making X's.
Keep making X's. Was that what I say?
It's your trademark now.
Thank you for stitching with us, too. And keep making those X's. I think that's what I said.
It's somewhere in there.
This is all very not right.
We'll work on your
This is not
trademark.
normal. Bye, guys.